Okay, Tyler.
He was busy.
Alright, welcome back everyone to another Dark and Darker video, this time looking at the wizard from the most recent playtest. In this video I'm going to start off with a few clips showcasing a few of the spells and playstyles I like, and then we'll get into another full dungeon delve. So right away we have a little third party. I'm noticing this group battling. My friend's a little bit behind me, but I'm just lobbing fireballs, taking advantage of being able to artillery this team down. And as this cleric jumps over the rubble there, I take him out with a quick magic missile. I love having the quick cast, which reduces your arcane spells by 1 second. And you'll see me use arcane missile again here. The barbarian goes after my fighter. I'm hoping he can take him out 1v1, but he can't quite do it. Unfortunately, he goes down, but I end up cleaning up the rest of the 3-man just by quick casting those magic missiles, landing a couple headshots here. And we'll see another clip taking advantage of that ability. So my fighter friend's rushing in. I'm going to give him the invisibility once again with that arcane spell. And I'm going to use those magic missiles. And here we actually don't even realize they're dead, but the heat-seeking magic missiles whip around the corner and take them out.
Oh. I hit my... Nicely done. That was
alright, and here I'm just going to showcase the power of Zap. So it does a lot of damage if you have additional spell power. And here, just the hit scan being able to do some instant damage to these people forces them out of our room here. And once again, my friend is really in there, and I don't want to hurt him with fireballs, so I switch to Zap, take out that fighter, keep it up, and I'm just going to put some damage into this barbarian that's rushing me before I have to quickly run away. Go invisible, and my friend is able to quickly take him out, and I'm still able to use the Zap to clear out this pesky dragonfly before he does any damage.
Nice.
Alright, and now we're into our full dungeon delve. This is one of the first days of the playtest where actually we were wondering if there's a bug because we spawned in this center room here, and we had never done it before, but we're still getting used to the controls, getting used to things again. I put that crossbow crosshair right in the middle of that death skull, but my bolt flies under because he's so close. So still getting used to aiming and mechanics again. We're dusting off the cobwebs. We're feeling a little rusty. Pixel hunting to pick up treasure, getting back and getting into it again. But this is one of our first runs. I think I'm only a few levels in, maybe level 3 or something like that. So only have the one perk available, and I take that perk that I mentioned that reduces the cast time of your arcane spells by 1 second, which means you can bust out those magic missiles and that invisibility very quickly. I'm also using a crystal sword. Not that I love using crystal swords, but mostly just because that's what I've found. So still kind of at that point in the playtest where you just use and pick up whatever you have available, and the crystal sword is fine for taking care of PvE. We're being really careful because we don't have much gear, we don't have much in our inventory, and we're just trying to not take damage here. I'm going to try to ignite myself, and I'm hitting the crystal sword on the railing. I'm not quite hitting him yet. I'm taking unnecessary damage, so really getting used to the game again. And after this embarrassing fight on the stairs, I'm popping this survival kit, this surgery kit here. I don't want to waste my potions. I don't want to waste my bandages. And this is a decent opportunity. I'm not necessarily going to get this again. So we'll just recover to full and pretend like none of that ever happened. So we're going to clean up here, maybe go back, do a little bit of looting, go up top, check out those bookshelves, clean up all these corpses. And you'll notice I do tend to kill everything first and then loot my corpses after. Which is generally a good strategy, but not always the best. I see my friends at the top there already taking care of the loot on the bookshelves, and I figure I'll pop a couple of these pots just in case I can grab a thing or two. There's not much left, and so we continue on with our journey. I'm using my crossbow. He gave me a little bit of an amulet there. We're sharing loot. Always good to play with friends that you're willing to trade with, and if you're diversifying your classes, hopefully you're needing on different types of gear, and you can gear up a little bit faster because you're not trying to all grab the same stuff. So good strategy in terms of building out a composition, just having diverse skills as well as needing different items. But you can always play the same class. Just play what you like, play what's fun. We tend to diversify, but I'm sure you've seen some other videos where, you know, me and my buddy are both playing fighters, and that works out just fine too. So it's not necessarily a hard rule, but especially really early on in the playtest, we wanted to gear out different classes so that we could quickly and efficiently build up a class or build out a character that was a little bit stronger. And this was the first character I was playing. So the wizard, you'll notice it has the same name as the channel, same name as my Twitch. The wizard has a special place in my heart. I love spellcasters, which is why my cleric is also named Just Bulko, which is another special name for me. So definitely love the versatility. I feel like being able to have spells just gives you so much of an opportunity to outplay and outskill your opponent. And that's one of the major draws for me. I love having tons of options, whether it's in a game like Dark and Darker or even in a game like Dungeons and Dragons. Just being able to have a ton of options, have you know, playing like Batman, just having all those little tools in your belt.
Go back the way we came.
Here I'm using my meditate, and I realize this is a terrible spot, terrible position. That Death Swarm is coming in, so I pack up in shame, and we move back to the room that we spawned in. And I see a rogue backing away. He's being sneaky. He's just got invisible. And I launch the fireball from across the way, and unfortunately for him, he catches it. So we're still low level, early times in the test. And fortunately for me, he wasn't able to move while invisible, and I just predicted he was going to be sitting right there. So we take him out. He hasn't done much looting. He has a nice pair of boots for me, so I throw those on. A little bit of magic pen, I believe, there. And, you know, taking our time. It's still early on. We want to just fill up our stash. And we hear another team coming from the other side. My friend's going to flank around one way. I'm going to flank the other. We're going into the 4-square room, which tends to have a lot of PvP action. And we see this team right here. So I prepare a magic missile and just unleash it on this cleric, get a few headshots with it, and then I realize, yeah, it's a barbarian. I'm not going to deal with that. So I calling out to my buddy. He realizes his flank's not going to work, but I say, he's coming, he's coming. So he gets ready. I get ready with an invisibility. I go invisible. The barb turns around. My friend jumps him. He gets some distance, and then I'm able to take him out. So we kind of just play that perfectly in terms of communication. And on the same page there, my friend backs away, doesn't take any damage, I don't take any damage, and we're able to take out that team with a little 2v2. I may have been able to do it by myself against the barb, but just knowing that I had my friend there, making sure I'm using some teamwork and good communication, it's just more fun, you know, saves resources, and it's what the game's all about, right? Making sweet plays with your bro, internet high-fiving. That's how we like to play. So here we're just kind of navigating through the traps once again, being extra cautious because still a little rusty, still getting back into it. And we're clearing out the rest of this room. We're looking that we have quite a ways to go here. I'm using this crystal sword, just poking the spiders. It has a nice long range, so I'm able to kill the spiders without having to crouch. And then I'm just getting this fireball ready to blast the pot because I couldn't be bothered to get in there. And yeah, just clearing it out, getting rid of these spiders so that I can start maybe doing a little bit of looting. I am aware though that the swarm is going to be pretty close and we're going to have to do a pretty big run. So we notice that it's closing in and we realize we're going to have to push through the boss room, or at least what we call the boss room, which has a wraith and a skeletal champion. So I cast haste. We're still, you know, like I said, early on in the playtest, so we're not really looking to fight. And I come out of invisibility right next to the wraith. So I just am spamming my invisibility spell, just hoping I can get this door open, trying to de-aggro. I'm able to get through and close the door with that archer on the way, but I'm able to get through. And at this point, me and my friend are split, and I see this team of 2 coming. They maybe saw me, but they don't seem too interested in fighting. So I kind of assume we're not fighting, and my friend has taken an escape portal, and at this point, I'm just trying to get out as well. But I see this team and realize, yeah, I gotta have it. I see that fighter holding up his shield, so I go for his legs with the magic missile, thinking I could probably take him. And with the ignite on my sword, it still takes 3 hits, including some headshots, and that fighter almost gets me. So now I'm pretty scared, and I think, man, that barbarian's gonna come back and wreck me. But fortunately for me, and you may have noticed in the corner that a skeletal footman has picked up a kill, and we quickly realized that the barbarian friend was taken out from the PvE. So I'm running around trying to debate how I'm going to deal with this little skeleton, and I opt for the ignite play and just try to keep my distance using my reach here, kill the skeleton, and then go back to do a little bit of looting.
I think maybe
at this point I'm feeling pretty good. Cleaned up most of the dungeon. We're getting near the end here. Quite a few people have died, so I'm feeling all right. But I am just gonna heal to full. I know that there's a few more heals on that fighter, so I just use what I have, what I brought in, and try to replenish. And I see this guy's brought in, or he has a little bit of healing, not a ton. So I grab what I can and then start looting. It's still early on in the playtest. I'm doing a terrible job of looting. I'm still worried that there's maybe another team coming, or I'm gonna get ambushed. So I'm just, evaluating the gear as quickly as possible. I see a spellbook, and I love spellbooks, so grab one of those, and then I start looking for an extractor, a way to get out. And fortunately, I see one right there. I actually hear somebody else coming though, and I'm not sure where they are exactly, so I cancel opening the door, only to decide, I'm just gonna go for it and use some haste. It gives me a little bit more interaction speed, and then I open this portal and get out of the dungeon. And that was, like I mentioned, one of the earlier raids in the playtest, not the very first. And you'll see here at the end, I think I end up somewhere around level 8 or something, so I definitely started off higher than level 3, but solid raid. Nice way to continue on with the first few days of the playtest, and I hope you had fun watching a run on the Wizard. Thanks for watching.